Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about water. So, what are the things which we are going to focus in this particular lecture? So, we are going to focus that why there is scarcity of water and how can we conserve water. So, as we know that amongst all the resources which nature has provided us or which the nature has availed us with, amongst all those resources, one of the very important resource for any kind of life form on the earth is water. In fact, the life started on the earth inside water itself. So water is actually a very important life-giving element which nature has given us. But due to our usages, there is a creation of scarcity which has led us to a lot of problems today and will lead us to a lot of problem in future if we do not take enough measures to conserve this particular resource. So let's start with today's class. So first thing, like scarcity of water, that means the water which is present on the earth, is it getting over? If it is getting over, where is it going? So your concept is wrong in that case. The water which the nature has provided us, if it is 100%, okay, that 100% water remains within the earth only. It is not going anywhere in some other space or some other planet. It is remaining within the atmosphere of the earth only. But the only thing which is happening, it is changing its form or it is changing its characteristic. Now when I say changing its characteristic, that means the fresh water which is available to us, it might change into saline water of the ocean, or it might change into some other form. Okay, so that is the thing which is happening. That means the water is going nowhere. Whatever water we have on the earth, it is remaining within the earth's atmosphere only. Then why is the scarcity? And what is the scarcity all about? The scarcity is the scarcity of fresh water. Okay, it is the scarcity of fresh water. So fresh water is scarce in our nature. Whatever amount of fresh water we have is less, and moreover, due to human activities, this less amount of water, fresh water, is even getting more deteriorated. It is getting polluted and it is becoming less. Okay, so that is what is happening with the water which we can actually use in our day-to-day purpose. Now you see this, amongst the 100% of water, only 2.5% water of the earth is fresh water. Now this fresh water itself is divided into different forms. Now you see this particular thing, the fresh water is actually divided into surface water, means the rivers, the ponds and all. In groundwater we have, and most of it is in glaciers again. Around 69% of the fresh water only is in glaciers. So how are we going to use the glaciers, or how are we going to use the ice caps, right? We cannot use that. Even like if the water is coming, like in case of perennial river, the rivers are coming from the glaciers, true, but then we cannot directly use it, right? So that is what we can use, only the surface water and the groundwater. We cannot use the glacier water directly. Now in that also this particular surface water or fresh water, we find it in different ways. Okay, we get it in the atmosphere also. Now how do we get the fresh water in the atmosphere? Obviously through water cycle, through evaporation, condensation, okay, till it does not precipitate down. So that is there in the atmosphere, right? So in the atmosphere also we have, and some of the water we intake, it's in our body, it's in the the leaves of the plants, or it can be in any other like animal body. So it is present. So what I mean to say, the amount of fresh water which we are having, okay, on the surface, on the pond, that also circulates within us only. It is not necessarily to be present in the river. So you can understand how much less amount of water is is readily available in the nature, which we can directly use. So that is why there is scarcity of water, and we should not unjudiciously use it. We should judiciously use this particular resource. Now let's coming back to how this particular scarcity happens. So this is a very simple diagram about water cycle. We also call it as hydrological cycle. So you can see here two water bodies, three water bodies are shown. That is lake, which I will take as surface water, and there is groundwater, and there is ocean. So you can see three water bodies are there. So we cannot use this particular ocean water directly for our day-to-day consumptions and all. Okay, so basically we use groundwater and the surface water which is present. But nature, when it is acting in hydrological cycle or whatever is happening out there, it is not segregating the lake water or the ocean water anyway. Evaporation is happening from everywhere. It is happening from lake also, it is happening from ocean also. Okay, now if it is happening from ocean, then you have a good point. Then from the ocean, if it is getting evaporated, then it might be getting condensed and precipitate on the land, so that will give us water. But at the same time, we also have to keep in mind, from the lake also evaporation happens, right? Now if the evaporation happens from the lake, there is no guarantee that the precipitation will happen back in the lake only, so it might flow back to ocean. So this actually creates a scarcity if we are not judiciously using the lake water, and if we are not taking enough measures to conserve this particular precipitation. Okay, so we have to conserve the precipitation, or we have to conserve the rainwater, the lake water, which we can regularly use. Okay, now I can see one more word here, transpiration. Transpiration is basically evaporation of the water from the plant's body. That is transpiration. Okay, so that is there. We should use this particular resource, and we should actually go for certain conservation. Now next slide is showing you that how do we actually use water. Now in this, the major, we all know that how we use water in the domestic ways, in the industries, in the agriculture. The major thing which you should notice here, that most of the surface water which we can regularly use, or the groundwater which we can use, this particular agricultural sector uses 70% of that particular water resource, or that particular amount of fresh water which we have on our earth's surface. Okay, so that is, and a very less amount of it we are actually using in our day-to-day purposes. But don't be very happy to understand that we are using it very less. Agriculture mein hi zyada ja raha hai. You have to understand it this way ki agriculture is because of us only. We only require the crops. Agriculture is done for us. So if we are making the crops, or if we are growing the crops for us only, then obviously we are only responsible for usage of 70% of the fresh water in agricultural sector. Okay, so with this we are moving on to the next slide. Now how can we conserve it? We can, like, whenever we think of conservation, we only think of rainwater conservation, or majorly that comes in our mind. But in a small way also we can conserve the water. Okay, how we can do that? We can actually use efficient flush toilets where less amount of water is used. Okay, and then we can repair the leaks in our pipes. Okay, we can take a quick shower, and let's not waste more water out there. Okay, we can actually close the tap properly after we use it. Then we can use some good washing machine. We can plant our trees with whatever water is left after washing the vegetables and all. Okay, we can clean our houses with less amount of water. So all these things we can do, right? So these are the things which we can do in day-to-day life to conserve water also. Now dams. So dams are not a new concept from the previous time only, from initial time, since when the human civilization started to settle down. From that time only dams are being made, and those are being used for various purposes. At initial stage it was used for impounding the water in the river in a region, and to control the flood in the region. But nowadays dams are used for even conserving water also. So there are different ways, like spillways, gates or walls. All these things are made in order to channelize the water in a different way, to conserve the rainwater, to to save the place from getting flooded. All these these purposes dams are made. So dams are one of the way how can you conserve water and how can you bring that water into use. Okay, so this much from today's lecture. I hope you have understood this simple concept. Let's meet with the next lecture.